Welcome. This demonstration notebook entry is about MLA in-text citations. Maybe you're here because you missed in-text citation day in class, or maybe you were there for class, but you still need a little bit of brushing up before you start using in-text citations yourself, or maybe all of your questions weren't answered, or perhaps you're here just for curiosity's sake. For whatever reason, you're more than welcome, and we're just going to go over quickly some of the basics of MLA in-text citations. Okay, to start, we're going to go to a little quick flowchart of sorts because some students wonder whether or not they should be using in-text citations. So ask yourself, did the information come from you, or did you find it in a source? If you found it from yourself, no citation is needed. However, if you found it from a source, you need to cite the source. But wait a minute, I didn't even use a direct quote. Doesn't matter, cite the source. It's really important. And why, you may ask? Well, it's a really good question. Not only do you want to avoid plagiarism, but you also want to avoid taking credit for another person's hard work. Whatever information you have, whether it's a quote or whether it's research or information, somebody else found that or somebody else created that. So don't use someone else's information without giving them some credit. And we're going to use MLA in-text citations to give that proper credit. Moving on, the next thing you need to know is where you would put your in-text citations. And holy cow, my voice changed. What happened? Anyway, so where you put these in-text citations, you're going to put them after each quote that you have, any direct quote, and also after you provide information from a source. All right, it's just going to go directly after that. Okay, now, the next thing that you need to know is how to cite your sources. And there are some 4 basic steps that I'm going to give you. Again, just the basics. If I will show you what to do if you have specific questions that are not covered in this demonstration entry. So you need to use parentheses. Parentheses look like little brackets, except for they're rounded, and you see them right in red. So use parentheses. Next, you want to provide the author's last name and the page number that has the information. So the page number of where you found the quote or where you found the information. So last name Gray, page number 42 is what you're seeing there. You also want to note that the period goes after the citation. You may have learned that periods go inside quotation marks in American English, but when you have a citation, you take that period and you put it after the citation to make sure you tell your reader that the citation is part of the quotation. Oh, hey, period. I do have another last step. If your source does not have the page number, maybe you have an online article, usually it's the online article that gets people, just leave this page number out. Okay, so here we have just Gray in parentheses. We can infer that that came from an online article. Here is an example of a direct quotation that came from some author whose last name is Gray, and on page 42. For example, some people say that it's entirely plausible that Greedo shot first. End quote, Gray 42, period. All right. And I just have some what-if questions. The first what-if question is, what if the author is not listed in the source? You have an online article, and you can't find that author's name because it isn't there. Use the source's title instead. So, cinema fans agree that CGI Jabba the Hutt is much better than the original. And you see, All Things Star Wars is what we can presume to be the title of the article. Next question, what if I already mentioned the author's name in the lead-in? Well, what you do is just leave it out of the citation. So you would just provide the page number in your in-text citation. So according to Gray, the franchise could do without Boba Fett. And there you have just the page number, because you see that the writer has already used Gray, the last name of the author of the source, in the lead-in, according to Gray. Next question. What if I'm citing a different source that's listed here or my question isn't addressed here? That's very plausible. So this is a Purdue OWL or Purdue OWL website. Very, very, very helpful for MLA citations. I use it all the time. Lots of people do. Capital letters matter. If you see that capital A and that capital C, make sure they're capital when you type them into the web address. And for any shortened link, don't type in the www. So that's your overview of MLA in-text citations. It's very quick. This demonstration notebook is designed to kind of give you an overview of what they look like and how they should be used and some of the basic specific rules. You hopefully in your writing experience will encounter different types of citations, and this source won't be enough for you, and that's okay. Again, there are multiple resources online. This would be a much longer demonstration if I included everything. So again, in the corner, if you go to that shortened link, that is goo.gl/D uppercase A V X uppercase C lowercase c. That will take you to a great resource you can use with lots of information that I haven't covered today. So that's it in a nutshell, and happy writing, happy reading.